What are your memories of one of the greatest angles I think you probably ever put together was Tommy Rich and Buzz Sawyer, which is still talked about to this day as far as being one of the greatest wrestling feuds in wrestling. What are your memories of that whole,
Tommy Rich and Buzz Sawyer?
yeah.
Well, tell me what it was. I don't remember anymore.
It was the angles that you guys did with all the street fights and brawls and stuff. It was one of the, last man standing.
Somebody just told me about another one, and then somebody else told me about another one. So they thought they were the best, and then you think that's the best, so what the hell's the best?
Any thoughts on the Tommy Rich Buzz Sawyer feud?
I don't remember it even.
Really? Well, what about Buzz Sawyer as a person? A lot of people that we talked to said he was out of his mind.
I loved the kid. I thought he was a great kid. I liked him because he was a pretty decent worker. He had a pretty decent interview, and he had some background in actual amateur wrestling.
Right.
But at the end, and I really wasn't aware of it because I didn't realize these guys were all smoking dope or taking dope, because I never hung around the guys.
Right.
I went to my room and I worked my ass off to goddamn do my butt. Like I told you, I had 100-some guys working for me at one time. You just try to put 100 guys on the damn card to see what's going on, you'll go nuts.
Huh.
And that's what I was doing on a daily basis, so it was really hard for me. Plus, I was making all these damn towns. I was driving all over, flying all over. So
right.
Buzz made it to the show like everybody did, and if he was there late, I would fire the bastard. That's all there was to it. So they always made it, and they were always on time, and they always had pretty decent matches. And I liked Buzz, so I didn't know that he was smoking dope or taking dope or whatever he might have been doing. But it turned out that just about everybody was. But again, I didn't know it, and because I didn't hang around with him. So I liked the hell out of Buzz Sawyer. But there were some guys that hated Buzz Sawyer. Briscoes, I think, hated Buzz Sawyer. I think I'm right on that. But Buzz was able to do an interview, and he could work enough, and he could wrestle well enough in a match to draw the damn people. Well, what else am I going to go by? So that's what I went by. But then it became obvious that he was all screwed up. And I fired him. And he went home. He lived in California, I think it was. And several months later, in fact, I sent him up to Carolinas one time, that's what it was. And they screwed him around and all that bullshit, but maybe he was on dope, I have no idea. But anyway, so he went to California, and after, I don't know how many months or a year, he called me up and said, I'm straight now, I'm okay. Would you take me back? I said, yeah. So he flew from California to Georgia. And the first damn day, we were on TV, the first damn day he was all screwed up. I paid attention to him. He didn't have an idea what the hell was going on. And I said, get your goddamn ass back on that plane and get out of here.
Wow.
And he went back to California. I fired him again. And then I never heard another thing out of him until the day he died or the day after. Some guy called up and said, Ole Anderson, yeah. He said, Buzz Sawyer just died. Jeez, that just hit me. He said, he always talked about you like you were his father. He said, you always did so much for him. You were such a great guy, and all this BS, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But Buzz liked me, and I really liked him too, but he just did stuff I just couldn't tolerate.
Tommy Rich, as far as when you guys put the strap on him, that was pretty much Jim Barnett's decision, or was that a...
Jim Barnett, because I wouldn't have done it. But the other thing was that Jim just had to put it somewhere. They wanted to get it off, and they wanted to do something with Tommy Rich.
Right.
And at that time, if you remember, you talk about angles, when I started Tommy Rich, well, he's still nothing. 180 pounds, I don't know what the hell he is. He never lifted a damn weight in his life. He never had a bicep. He never had a tricep. He never had any leg. He never had anything. But I recognized something about him, and I said to him, I put him in the first match with, who did I put him in the first match with? Do you remember? Do you know? Abdullah the Butcher.
Okay.
Abdullah, I said, don't beat the hell out of him. Just give him one move or whatever it is, 2 or 3 minutes, and you pin the kid, and that's it. Don't stomp on him and beat the crap out of him anymore, because, no, you just beat him, and that's it. So they beat him, and I told the guys in the dressing room, I said, go down there to help Tommy Rich. I told the referee, give Tommy Rich a hand up. And I said to Tommy, you'd be struggling, but when the referee comes over to grab a hold of your arm or whatever, just go, push them away. Just say, no, no, no.
Right.
And when the guys try to get in the ring to help you, just say, just leave me alone. Let me just lay here for a second. So Tommy just laid there, and he struggled like hell, and he pulled himself up on the second rope. Then he pulled himself up on the top rope, and he stood there, all beat up. And he watched Abdullah going out the doggone deal like that. And the people went.
Right.
Barnett said, get rid of him. You've killed that kid. I said, Jim, just shut the hell up. Just wait.
Right.
The second week, I put him out there with Abdullah again. And Rock Hunter was Abdullah's manager. And Rock Hunter says, it's your fault. You guys that put these matches together, the promoter, Paul Jones, it's your fault. We may kill this kid. We're not going to get... Okay. Abdullah went out there, and Tommy just threw one punch. Abdullah just kind of went like that. The people went nuts. Then Abdullah came back and beat Tommy Rich again. Barnett said, oh my God, you've killed him. You've killed him. He's not worth anything. He'll never draw a dime. You've just killed him. I said, Jim, will you just shut the hell up? Just wait. Put him into the third damn week. The third week, Tommy did the interview. I told him, I said, listen, just tell the doggone people that you were raised by your parents. You may not be the smartest guy in the world. You may not be the toughest guy. You may not be the biggest guy. But you never say no. You never, ever give up. And that's the way he did his interview. I've never seen him, but that's the way he did his interviews. And so he went out to the third week, and this time he punched Abdullah. You know, didn't just come out and punch him.
Right.
But he hit him a couple of times, and Abdullah did a couple of staggers like this. He still got beat again. And Barnett said, my God, you beat him 3 weeks in a row. I said, he said, get rid of him. He's not worth anything. I said, Jim, will you just shut the hell up? Same thing again.
Right.
So now Tommy gets back on there and gives his interview. He says, I'm never going to give up. You may have to kill me. He says, but I am never going to quit. I'm never going to give up. I want to wrestle you again. And now Rock Hunter's all excited. He said, what's wrong with that kid? What the hell? We beat him and that's it. There's nothing left for him to do. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. But we made Rock Hunter sign Abdullah to a match against Tommy Rich again. But that was several weeks later.
Right.
And that's how Tommy Rich got over like a mother.
Made him big time. I'm going to switch tapes real quick. What are your memories of Jake the Snake?
At the beginning, he was very good. What he was doing was, I didn't realize that a lot of guys were all doing drugs, like I told you that already. But he did good business for us, I think. And it was at a time when everybody apparently was all drugged up, and I just was too damn dumb to know that. Was he? I don't know. Did he get in trouble? Yes. I got him out of a couple of things, and I just overlooked whatever the hell was going on, and because he did a pretty decent job. Don't ask me specifically what was going on because I really don't remember anymore. But he did enough job that I liked him and that I kept him and he worked for me.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.